Hello, and welcome back to Suitcase Disc by Disc, hosted by the Tin Can Laughter. I'm Ben,
I'm Dan.
and we're
Yo.
wrapping we're wrapping up Suitcase 3 today with what's this disc called again?
Oh, it's called Tall Tale Moon, Antiquated, and Other Known Facts, colon, spontaneous low fly, not low fi, by the
Mm-hmm.
way, low fly energy field recordings.
God,
and it's subtitled Controlled Acoustic Jams 1994 between the recordings of B1000 and Alien Lanes.
that's a lot of calling it Suitcase 3 Disc 4 is a lot simpler.
I guess so.
I think
Yeah.
Bob just
I
thought
do
it'd be
like Tall Tale Moon. Yeah.
I think Bob just thought it'd be really funny to give it as many titles as he could.
Yeah,
I
and
yeah.
I agree.
Mhm.
It's great.
I imagine if it were to come out now, it would probably be a Hot Freaks download. Or at least tracks 3 to 23 would be a Hot Freaks download, and it would just
Yeah,
be 1994 Jam, Bob, Toby, and Greg.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
Which,
It's definitely
yeah,
Hot Freaks material and pretty different from. I mean, it's an outlier. This disc is different from
it's
every
the
other
it's the
Suitcase disc.
it's the only one of its kind that focuses
There's
on a singular body of work rather than pulling together from
even
other
a
ones. Which,
yeah singular session. Although
mhm,
technically there's two, because
yeah,
it's bookended by four
Alien
what
Lanes
it calls
demos.
Alien Lane demos, which is awesome.
Hmm.
And then it gets into this acoustic
Yeah.
kind of controlled, so-called controlled jam session,
Okay.
which I think that means that Bob had a list of titles and maybe some
Or
lyrics
yeah, I'm
to
thinking
read
lyrics.
from.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah,
Toby and Greg just played on the fly. Um,
yeah,
let's. I think we should get started then. We
sure, yeah,
start with Pluto is polluted, which we've heard
yeah.
before.
We we
it's
have,
it's on it's on a Boston Spaceships EP called "Camera Found the Ray Gun," which has
yeah.
four
That's a
songs. Two of them are and the other two are the first two tracks on here. And it's
yeah.
weird to think that that's 1994 because I listened to it, that and the next one at a time. Pluto's Polluted sounds like a Boston Spaceship song to me, but
They
it's
really do. Yeah,
it's 1994. It could have been on
yeah,
Alien Lanes.
yeah. Which is crazy. Like, I I I like to try and imagine how it would have sounded on Alien Lanes, and it's I mean, Boston Spaceships really. I
Hmm.
love those versions of this song and the
Oh,
next
love them.
song. Um, yeah, they're great. So it almost reminds me a little bit of I Want to Be a Dumb Charger on Alien Lanes. It's got
Hmm.
a similar kind of.
A lot brighter though. I see
What's
what you
that?
mean. I'd say it's a
Yeah,
lot brighter than that one though. But
yeah, maybe.
I see what you're getting at.
Yeah, I guess this one's got a cool. It's got a good energy to it, but it doesn't have. To me, it doesn't sound too much like Alien Lanes.
Yeah, it
Um,
really sticks out. I think, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I think Pluto's Polluted could have been done by that lineup. I have suspicions over Aquarian Hovercraft, though. Not that I don't think it was
but
recorded then. I think the sort of classic era, especially '94, was when GVP were sort of slowing down a bit on prog epics in a sense. Like they'd done a
yeah,
bunch in the early days, like Barricade or Earful of Wax, two
yeah,
incredible songs. But the classic era albums don't really have those. So even though Aquarian Hovercraft is only 2.5 minutes long, I think it still would have really stuck out on an album like Alien Lanes.
yeah. It has a very disjointed,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, proggy feel to
Yeah,
it,
like
which
Break Even pulled it off. Actually, hold on. Break Even did
that's
pull it off.
true.
Break Even's one of the
Break
best
Even.
songs from that era. Maybe they could have done it.
Good point. And one thing that I was thinking of is Pimple Zoo. Like,
Hmm. Ooh, true.
I was wondering if Aquarian Hovercraft had been recorded for Alien Lanes, if it would have sounded kind of like the way Pimple Zoo seems to be like three different,
Mm-hmm.
completely different sessions, like smashed into one song. So I
Yeah,
can almost see it as something like that.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a great tune. I mean, I gotta actually wait. I'm not putting songs in the background anymore. We can talk about the two together. I didn't think of that.
Yeah, we can.
They're really
This
good.
is unprecedented.
I think it
They
goes
are
without
really good.
saying. There's a like What's interesting, I think, the most here is the Boston Spaceships versions weren't out when this disc came out, but it makes sense that those got re-recorded. So those two and the Alienlands demos at the end of the disc all have other versions out there. And I think it's telling of the
Yeah,
quality of these songs. They were treated better than just end up here.
for
Like we'll
sure.
we'll
Yeah.
get there later, and tracks 3 to 23 have some moments that popped up elsewhere. Actually, a whole bunch right near the beginning. But
Yeah.
I'm just thinking ahead a little. Oh man, I have a juicy nugget of knowledge. A few songs that we're not
Ooh.
there, not yet. First, we have to talk about "Brand New Star," which is the first
Yeah.
of the 21 jams of
The
Bob,
first
Toby, and
and
Greg.
yeah, the first and I would say maybe well definitely one of the best
It's
I
one
think,
of
but
the
also
best.
it's one of the best. But it also seems like it's one of the ones that was most planned out, and I'm
Yeah.
mostly basing that by the way the intro.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody Bob's like, "This is called Brand New Star," and you hear someone else, maybe Tobin, like
Mm-hmm.
singing it.
It
Do
sounds
you
like
do you
Greg.
remember
Yeah, I know what you're talking
the
about.
moment? Is that
Mm-hmm.
fresh?
I usually assume
Okay.
Greg because I know
Yeah,
his
you're
voice
right.
is a
Maybe
little higher.
that's true. The reason I was maybe avoiding thinking it was Greg is because the I kind of think of these as being in chronological order, like as like the order they recorded them in,
Mm-hmm.
and it sounds like Greg arrives in the middle of Cement Robots, the next song,
Hmm.
because Bob starts singing Greg Demos.
But that's just something Bob will do
Greg.
anyway. Like I went back, like a
That's
while back,
true.
I was watching a bunch of videos from I think 2010, 2011, before I knew who
Yeah,
GVV were, and they were like they were like the classic lineup again and riding the novelty of that. And Bob,
yeah.
I mean, even now, Bob will take any reasonable opportunity to sing about the other band members. Like Glad Girls, he'll
that,
shout out everyone in the band. There's a
that is
recording
pretty
on
great.
there's a
Yeah,
recording on Suitcase 4 where in the middle of a Lethargy jam, Bob does a roll
yeah.
call from everyone in the band and spends 30 minutes singing about Toby. We'll get there when we get there. I don't
I'm
remember if
excited
that's
about that one. Yeah,
oh
Toby Rock
God,
and Roll.
Toby, yeah. But I don't know. I mean,
That's a good point. You're right. It's kind of inconclusive, but I still feel like maybe they worked this song out a little bit before what we're hearing.
I could see that. I mean,
Although
yeah,
toward the end, it does sound like he gets into more just off the top of his head, and that's the
yeah.
moment that
They're like, all
he
right,
came.
ideas done. Yeah,
Uh,
they Stingy
yeah,
Queens,
right.
Stingy
Yeah.
Queens,
So the
which has not,
CUIC
yeah,
bridge.
which means that the song has been on 2 suitcases, and both are demos. And something's wrong. Something's wrong if Stingy Queens isn't getting re-recorded ever.
It's
I have
got
a
to be
problem with
only a
that.
matter of time. I
It's
mean,
gotta.
it's got to be.
Next GVV, whatever Cub Scout bowling pins is,
Bring
fucking
it on.
Cash Rivers. I don't think that'll happen, but because I think Cash is done. But could you imagine? God, anything, even if like Doug does it or Toby does it. I don't know if I'd listen to it
Yeah.
if Toby did it. That's not the
I've
point.
heard a rumor that the textbook committee has a studio version that they did
Ooh,
of their full band arrangement, which I
ooh,
witnessed live and is fantastic. So
ooh.
hopefully we can hear that
Yeah.
sometime.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're drifting a bit from Brand New Star though, so I think we should move on to Cement Robots.
Cement robots.
Robots. Shiggity
um,
Shiggity I don't. Oh man.
uh, it's it's a pretty goofy song.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be saying that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go next to South Rat Observatory because this one's cool.
Do we just have hold on? You want to move? Don't believe me. I want to talk about South Rat, but Cement Robots deserves better than that. Hold on. We didn't talk about it. I think.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
I gotta just get into that.
It's a nice sort of. It's a nice loose waltz. GVV weren't doing a ton of waltzes then. They don't do a ton now.
Little waltz. See, I didn't notice that, so that's a great observation.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's also a great name for reasons I can't explain why I like that name so much, but I really like the name Cement Robots.
I like it too.
Yeah. Okay, I think now we can move on. South Rat Observatory isn't as a song on its own. It's okay, but it does contain possibly the most interesting thing in this entire disc, which is,
Yes.
Bob's like, "This is South Rat Observatory." I think Greg shouts, "Are we on?"
Observatory. Yep.
And then
Are we on?
start, and it's Tractor Rape Chain.
Yeah.
Like, it's the
The
intro to
intro,
Tractor Rape Chain.
which is, I love the how when that starts, as soon as it hits like that certain
Yeah.
rattly chord, and it
hmm
suddenly becomes the thing that you're so familiar with from Tractor Rape Chain. I just love that
hmm
how it's it starts off as something like it's not super familiar, and then boom, like you're like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is that thing,
Yeah.
and then it goes off into
And it's its
into
own
yeah
song. And it's like,
yeah
I've heard that the snippets on B1000 were added with a very early version of Pro Tools.
yeah.
I mean, considering Alien Lanes, as far as I can tell, was mostly recorded in '94, and that was the album that was being shopped around to labels in '94, completed. I would imagine that
Mhm.
between the recordings of B1000 Alien Lanes would put it at early '94 if that recording was going to end up on B1000.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I guess that would make
And
sense if Greg was still in the band.
yeah, I mean, that acoustic guitar part, that's like the only thing that Demos plays on B1000.
Oh, that's true. I was always wondered why he got a
Yeah,
credit for that. I guess yeah, that
yeah.
would make sense. Oh, good call.
It's kind of funny. Um, One thing I want to know is that does mean that like Tracked Rape Chain was the song that we know was already recorded at this
Yeah,
point
it
because
was
we're
done.
assuming yeah, but Greg is clearly playing Tractor Rape Chain at least at the beginning. Like that is the progression of
Huh.
that song, right?
I guess
Don't
at
you
least it's
think?
pretty close. I'd say it's close, but that's probably also just because you know that intro so well from being Tractor
Okay,
Ape Chain.
interesting.
Yeah. I mean, granted, Greg was in the band; they were playing it,
Yeah,
so he. I would imagine he'd know how to play it at least in some way because he's playing it on bass.
and Bob doesn't miss a beat. He sings fucking South Rat Observatory.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's a good song, but really it's the intro to Tractor Rape Chain. That's what
Yeah.
it's got going for it. Then we
Oh
have
man,
the cinnamon flavored
Cinnamon
skull.
Flips.
That's
That's
not a new name.
yeah, that's a band name.
That's uh that's a track on
Is it
Suitcase One.
the Chain Wallet bitch?
Yeah, it sounds kind of like that. It's the one with the goofy backing vocals. What,
Oh,
what? That
okay.
one. Yeah. So this is the same title, but it's a different song.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a band
Okay.
name.
Okay. I'm just gonna
God.
put this out there that because of how I have the audio set up, if I go back to play it now, it will show up in the recording. But I
Gotcha.
don't care. I just need to briefly remember how this goes again. I'm not as
Okay,
acquainted with
go.
this disc.
Yeah. This one has kind of a dark,
Oh, this one's great. I love this one.
yeah, it has kind of a sinister
Mm-hmm.
feel to it. I like.
Yeah. All right. Usually I say this before track 6 in every episode. I'm gonna say it.
Mhm.
I'd like to hear this one again. I don't think we can because I don't think Bob wrote that guitar part, but
Yeah, true.
I
An element of it, like
it would be great.
usually a vocal melody or something. If Bob hears something that fits over it,
Mm-hmm.
he'll bring back like a vocal line or something.
Yeah, but that would be great to hear that with some extra guitars, maybe a few little atmospheric leads from Doug, maybe even Bobby.
Yeah,
Just because that song deserves a little more, but I also don't think anything that GBV were making at the time could fit something like that.
it's true.
It demands
It doesn't.
yeah, like it demands a more like I don't know specialized drum performance that I don't think Kevin Fennell would have pulled off.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's a great
It's got
tune.
a march kind of Kevin
Yeah,
March. That is.
maybe even Jimmy Mack at that. I mean, just imagining it in my head, it sounds a little like Portable Men's Society. So really, anyone. I mean, maybe not
Right,
anyone,
right,
but
right. Yeah, exactly what I was
some
thinking of. That
someone with a bit more chops.
that heavy psych drum sound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
someone who can like hit a tom a few times or like a tom roll or something, and then just pause a little, give the song room to
yeah,
breathe. Man,
yeah.
maybe I
That's
should.
the key. Maybe you
Dude.
should do that.
Oh,
You should.
man. I just thought, wouldn't it be cool if I did that? But I not this disc.
Add it
I'm trying to keep it
add
to
it
like,
to the pile.
dude, the pile. Okay, for context, as I speak, I'm working on a colossal Guided by Voices cover album. Bold of me to refer to it as GBV. Most of the tracks aren't GBV, but it's got
Nice.
29 songs so far, and the pool of songs to do is about as long. So it's going to be huge.
Can you please do one song from this disc?
I don't know if I can do it from this disc. I just don't. I'm just not as acquainted with it as I am with the other
You
discs.
just I'm
And there's
telling
already
you
a
know,
I'm pretty sure there's already a Suitcase 3 track in here. Is there? Hold on, let me check. Yes, there is. There
uh
is, and I recorded it already, and it's great.
nice.
It's
Still,
it's no trash allowed. Had to be that.
it's
But
fun.
back on track. Back on
Back on
track
track.
at all. Um,
Corpus Mitten is a great song.
what a surprise to hear you say that.
Oh yeah, I did choose that as a name at one point as
It's your
a
Discord name.
Discord.
Porpoise Mitten was a real good. Oh, I love it.
He goes,
This
"You're always gonna have a happy face."
Yeah, it's in. There's a bunch of songs later in the disc that I personally end up usually grouping Porpoise Mitten with, of songs that did not get brought back but have absolutely killer hooks in them. Like,
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, just like almost like songs on the sweeter side, because a lot of these aren't. But
Yeah.
that is,
Oh,
and
a lot of them, frankly, just kind of meander and don't go anywhere. Like, but some of them he nails like a
yeah,
really good, like you said, memorable
mhm,
hook. Like it's got a melody to it. It's a
yeah,
little bouncy, a
like
little happy. Yeah, it's
yeah, like Porpoise Mitten could be on a 7-inch with "I Shot a Jezebel." Um,
totally blows those
Kind of like yeah,
octopus.
I was exactly thinking of that, and you could kind of go anywhere from there, but I'm gonna go Hairspray Lies, and that's a pretty solid 7-inch.
I can't wait till we get to Hairspray Lies.
Okay, okay, but Porpoise Mitten was a real big one. It's a real good one.
Oh, don't
Uh,
forget Mr. Spoon, the next song.
ooh,
This one's a hit.
Mr. Spoon. This is like the most obscure nugget of knowledge anyone would ever have about a song.
Oh
But
yes,
Mr.
lay it on us.
Spoon did get recycled, but not as a God of
I,
My Voices song. Let's
not
see
by
if you
Bob.
know this. So, do you know what I'm about to bring up?
I do.
No,
Yes.
no,
Oh,
yeah, okay. No one else is gonna like know this because only five
I
people have
only
ever
know
heard
it.
this album.
I only know it thanks to you.
True, but I think you
I
sent me
would
the
never
album.
have picked that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
for the unfamiliar, Greg Demos put out an album in 2000 comprised of older recordings called Three Dream Bag, and I think Rockathon put it out, and apparently like no one bought it. That's the running joke on the board is that no one bought it. I'd like to
The
own it. It's a
fertile,
good out.
the fertile octogenarian.
Yeah, it's a great. It's I actually really like that album. I mean, not
I
all
need
of
to
it.
give it a listen.
Yeah, it's got some really good songs, and there's a one of the songs I don't like on there is called Electric Billboard's Trampoline, which is the worst name I've
Uh-huh.
ever heard. But it's Mr. Spoon,
Amazing. It's the
and
same like guitar kind of groove and
oh, it
riff.
absolutely is, and I think it goes the same direction too. I think like when it changes, it's the same change.
Yeah. So that makes me think that Greg already had the song written and he was just kind of like playing something.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and as a result, Mr. Spoon has a great. It's one of the more structured
Hmm.
songs on this disc.
Hmm.
And oh man, I love Mr. Spoon.
Yeah. It makes me wonder
This
then
one's
which songs were started by Toby and which were started by Greg.
yeah. It seems to me like a lot of times there's Tobin doing some sort of more lead,
Hmm.
like maybe Tobin's playing like an arpeggio. Although come to think of it, that could be Greg too. I don't. So maybe I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, Greg's a pretty capable lead guitarist. Boy,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
that dude absolutely rips on the first two tracks of Propeller. So, well, I guess
Yeah.
like I know he does Weaking. I don't know who does Over the Neptune. It's not a great solo, so maybe it's someone else.
Doesn't Bob do Over the Neptune solo?
Maybe that. I don't know about
Maybe.
Mesh Gear Fox. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
This isn't the Propeller podcast. Would be
not yet.
fun. No, it's the Mr. Spoon podcast, except it's ending, and now we're gonna do one of my. I don't love this one. Hey, Mr. Soundman.
No, but
It's the
the
wrong
alternate.
version. the
It's the wrong
wrong.
version. Yeah, the the other one, what I'll call the real one,
Hmm.
on the pretty one of the more obscure Guided by
Hmm.
Voices releases,
There's
the
a split.
Grifters split.
Hmm.
But that's a great song. I really like that track, the Grifters EP version.
Hmm.
It's a
So
very low key, pretty song. So this one's not.
this one's just. I don't remember it, but
This one,
I
Bob
seem to
had.
recall Bob just
Yeah,
really hamming
it,
it up, which can work.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
can work.
It doesn't work. It can't work. Yeah, it does. In this case, the you can tell that he's got that line in his head.
Hmm.
The
Hey, Mr. Sammy, can you
famous.
turn me up? You don't know
Yeah,
my name, and I don't. Didn't Bob say that was Kevin Fennell arguing with a sound man?
yeah,
Bob just
yeah,
stood off to
yeah,
the side, shaking his head.
yeah, yeah. Hey,
God.
Mr. Salmon, you don't know my name and I don't know your. Yeah, hilarious. So
Yeah.
definitely good. Turned into some good, a good song. But this early, I
Yeah.
guess we can charitably call it like an early attempt at turning
Maybe.
that
Or it
concept
came
into a song.
second. Or it came second. I don't know.
I
Because
like to
the
think,
Grifter split was 94, but who knows when the track was recorded.
yeah, yeah, that's a good point. I feel like Bob would have taken it out of the running if we're already the title
That's
and
true.
lyric were. But
Hasn't stopped him
I don't.
before. Um,
In any case,
yeah. And I'll note now, also for the five listeners at home, that I noticed that I realized we're not usually mega harsh about tracks in this podcast, but we very much were just then. If you like that song, continue to like it. We're a bunch of dipshits talking about Suitcase. Well, you're not a dipshit, but I am. Uh, don't let that deter you. Although there are
I
better
think we
songs.
can.
There are better songs on this disc, like this next one. Oh
Yeah.
pie, oh pie. That's
Bye.
it's a one of the more melancholy songs on here. Man, I
It
feel like
really is.
every disc we talk about, Bob Mate writes really good melancholic tracks, but he does,
It does.
and it's
I
right here.
appreciate Bob's go for broke kind of vocal on this. I
Oh
mean, we know Bob.
pie, yeah.
I mean, we know Bob's a great and like very uninhibited vocalist. So
Hmm.
it's just cool to think of him just letting loose. Like he's just sitting on his porch with a couple guys, like his kids are running around, and
Hmm.
he's just singing this ridiculous
Yeah,
song with all his heart.
yeah,
You
yeah.
gotta
He's
love.
singing it like the title isn't like he's shouting something a bit more meaningful, but he makes it seem like it really means something. It
Yeah,
hits you.
I
If
think
you're,
this one's on. Sorry, yeah, this one's on Suitcase or Briefcase
ooh,
3.
I forget. I always forget
Along.
which of these songs are in Briefcase.
I'll have
I
to look that up.
know, because I know it's called Cuddling Bozo's Octopus, so I imagine that's on
Yeah,
there.
it's true. Which that song is on there, and then
Yeah.
Opie, and
Okay.
maybe another one, or maybe that's it. I think that might be
Okay.
the two
Mhm.
songs from this
Okay.
disc
While we talk, okay, I'm gonna just confirm on the
that are on
database.
Briefcase
We'll
3.
we'll talk
So
about the
that's cool.
next one.
Yep.
I just want to double check, but there's another melancholy, darker song on here with some really nice Greg Demos backing vocals called
Oh
Kotex
yeah.
Moon. Talk about taking a weird phrase and really like hitting it home, really selling
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Oh, good call. It really is
Um,
only those two on Briefcase. All right,
Interesting. So
clarified.
Bob says in the song, "You're so red and I'm so yellow.
You're
You're
so
so
female.
female.
I'm
I'm
so
so fellow."
fellow.
But by the end of the song, when he hits that little chorus, like
Yeah,
sitting beneath, and everyone starts singing, yeah, there's something there.
yeah. There
That's
are
it's,
a lot of songs. Um, a lot. Bob has a history of doing this. I've noticed, where a song will just kind of exist for most of its
mhm.
runtime, and then it strikes a nerve right at the end, and
Yeah.
carries that home. Not even necessarily
Oh man.
demos like Circus Devil's Hat. Well, I guess Circus Devil's in his control. I guess Liar's Box
Yeah.
and Space Gun's kind of like that. It's just
Yeah. Bob's
hops
great at
around.
that.
It hops around for 2 minutes, and then it hits a hook, and it's like, okay, here's the real song now. I mean, it's all the real song,
Yeah.
but Kotex Moon
Exactly.
kind of feels like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I had an interest in Tobin Sprout rejoining GBV, I'd probably suggest, hey, you should bring back some of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have a hunch that won't be happening. So, we'll have to
This
just.
next, yeah, we'll
I
have
don't.
to dream.
I don't remember this next song. I listened
I
to
was
it
just gonna
today and I
say
don't remember it.
it's not one of
I
the
feel
memorable
bad.
ones, other than the
Bingo.
title.
Oh, that's a great title. Bingo Pool Hall of Blood. Like I can imagine that. Is that like a Shining thing or something? I haven't seen. It's a movie
Mm.
I have not seen, unfortunately.
Oh, geez. Yeah, in The Shining,
That's
it's an elevator that is full of blood.
yeah, but
So,
but I mean, you can picture it in your head. You can picture a Bingo Pool Hall of Blood, but I cannot remember how this song that I listened to today goes.
I
I'm
will
doing
say
great.
it's the shortest song on this disc.
It
It's
is.
under a minute.
That
I
is
think it's
true.
the
It
only
is.
one that's under.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is, and Bob has the couplet. I spent a whole life of crud in the bingo pool hall of blood. And then he kind of just trails off and he's like, and now I'm happy, happy, happy. Like that. So,
Man, I
yeah.
don't even remember that. That's bad.
There goes the
I'm a bad
king
host.
again.
According to iTunes, I like this song. I just don't remember it either.
Nice.
There's a stretch
Yeah.
here of songs I don't really remember.
Yeah. There goes the king again has a nice little guitar
Oh,
thing
there
going
goes the
for it.
king
King
again.
again.
Oh yeah, there's a good hook in there.
Yeah.
I can picture this lineup doing that song with a more driving beat. There goes
Yeah.
the king again. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
But
honestly,
like
like
middle of an EP
these,
kind of song.
yeah, like as rough as these songs are, like a lot of them could have been fleshed out for sure.
Yeah,
Um,
I
into
guess there was
something
just a
cool.
decision not to.
Cooler. Yeah, it's kind of funny because ostensibly, like the purpose of doing this kind of thing was to generate like raw material, you know, and going into this disc, I expected there to be more moments where I'm like, oh, that's awesome, like here's where they came up with this
Yeah.
song or whatever, but
But then there's
really
also
not.
those moments of he's kept this from us for how long? Not really kept us. That's the wrong phrasing.
Yeah.
Just that sort of he's kept this hidden away for how long? Like Hot Freaks has had
Yeah.
moments like that of what even of I don't have never heard this song before, but it's great.
Yeah.
There's a Hot Freaks track called Standard Learner's Croon that kind of fits that of where has this been all my life? Elsewhere, it would seem.
I love that one.
And for this disc,
Yeah.
that statement really
Oh,
makes sense
man.
because these were all recorded at least a few years before I was born, so they have been somewhere my whole life. Yeah, they have been. Yeah, that promise you that was funnier in my head. We have a medley next. It's
Yes.
Evil Vandalia and Mojo Crow Zenith. I saw the name Evil Vandalia a while back. Just the name
Really?
a lot. Like, is Vandalia like a city in Ohio or like
Yeah, it's like a suburb of Dayton, I think.
Yeah, I
where,
imagine it's that.
Yeah.
Or it was like the Magnet magazine guy who interviewed
No.
Bob.
It's.
Yeah,
I think the story is like it was a notorious
Probably the
place to
sound.
get like pulled over for speeding or something like that.
yeah, that's what I always figured it was. I just remember people also using it to describe the Magnet guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just I think like an interview came out and it was like Magnet's big cover story, and the people on the board were like, "This is kind of a bad interview." Because the
Yeah.
host didn't ask good questions and like jacked himself off a little. I'm not gonna shit
Yeah.
on Magnet here, Matt. I gotta love Magnet. They're a Philly music magazine that likes GBV, and
Yeah, like
I know a few people who've written for Magnet. So
that's true. The second time I saw GBV, it was at the Magnet 10th anniversary thing at the
Ooh.
Trocadero
ooh,
with the Shins and
Ooh.
My Morning Jacket.
I think my parents like the Shins. I don't know anything about My Morning Jacket.
They were pretty great. I was on board with them for their first couple albums, and then I kind of just lost interest. But they had some tunes at that show. The members of both those other bands came out and were on stage for Tractor Rape Chain.
That's pretty
Pretty
sick.
cool. Yeah, it was sick. I'm pretty sure, but I can't confirm because the whole set list is not on GBVDB. But I'm pretty sure they played Finks at that show.
Oh,
and
wow.
I
Whoa.
liked it.
I
I
hope
could
your
be wrong.
memory's correct.
I'm like 99% sure. Actually, no, I'm 100% sure. They did play Mascara Snakes, which was
Oh,
cool.
okay. Well, okay. So 2003. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I think on DTS once, Tim Tobias said that he had fun playing every GBV song that he played on stage except Mascara Snakes, and I think he said it's like
Oh
learning.
man.
It's like it's having to. I think he said it's like having to learn like advanced algebra, and he doesn't, and he's not a math dude. In case you
Yeah,
wanted to know what we thought of Evil Vandalia Mojo Crow Zenith, take
yeah,
this tangent as proof. It's not a bad song, but it's like I don't know. This whole disc is kind of a weird one in that sense, in that it's
yeah,
really cohesive, which is nice, but it's also the exact antithesis of every other Suitcase disc, where it strives on
yeah,
every song sounding kind of different. So like I don't know,
yeah.
stuff gets
Like
muddied
the
together,
contrast.
hmm
Yeah.
which is nice because I
Um.
remember the next three. Cuddling Bozo's Octopus. It's a bit not sleepy is not the right word. But you can hear like
It's
cartoon noises in the background of this one. They're not
yeah.
there. You just can picture it being there.
It's
You
like
imagine like a Disney elephant walking very slowly. Eeyore, that's what I'm looking for. Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. That's what I imagine when I hear this song. It's a good song, but it's dun, 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 dun.
yeah.
It's like a game over song from a newer Mario game.
Let's put it this way: if it were a Beatles song, like it would be the one Ringo sings.
Oh, it would be a kill. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And he'd
And
do a
not
good
just
job
because
at
of
it too.
Octopus started, but it
It's
it
the
is kind
nature of
of
the song.
yeah.
It's a bit more. It's. I'm gonna say lighthearted. I
Yeah.
also think I read somewhere that Bob was gonna call King Shit and the Golden Boys, cuddling Bozo's Octopus, but he
Oh,
changed it.
interesting. Yeah, that title I feel like has popped up in a few different places.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I think it's that. I think it's that, but I'm just guessing really.
yeah. Oh, I kind of like this how they do the first verse and then like Demos kind of just is like, "Hey, we can wait, do that one more time" or something like that. He
Yeah,
like
and Bob just comes up with more lyrics. What's it? I'm not partial to your dad or some shit.
yeah, yeah, your dad's so stupid, something like
That
that.
he
Yeah.
thinks he's cool. It's like,
Amazing.
yeah, it's choice words. And then what I think might be my favorite on the disc is I Shot a Jezebel, and I'll go to hell. And it's a nice builder
Yeah.
because then it hits the climax and it's I'll tell my story to the road. I'll
Oh, you're
tell my
right.
story. Oh, life.
That's right at the end where he goes,
It might be the
is
best
that the
part of the
one?
disc.
Oh, no. Yeah. No,
I
that's
just
great.
shot
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Jezebel, and I'll go to hell. Great
Yeah.
tune. Great tune.
That is a great. I was thinking, so the next one is the one where he goes ba 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 ba. I think that's not Jezebel, right? That's after the quake.
That's not Jezebel. That might
Okay.
be
Okay.
after.
I think it's
After
this
the
one.
quake. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm
This
just.
one's great too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That gives me an idea. I'll just narrow this down. Like this would make a solid EP.
Yeah. Actually,
Like
yeah.
you mentioned earlier, like some of the best ones on here
hmm
would be really cool to hear together because there are some tunes here. It's not all just futzing around. I mean, this is Bob Pollard here, so you know got
Yeah.
some tunes. He's always got the tunes. After the quake, let's
Let's
bake a
bake a
cake.
cake. Yeah. It's good stuff. Um, I don't remember the next one. I just remember I know I like it, and it's P Melts Everything.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put this one on quietly just because I don't remember this one very well. Uh,
I'm doing that too. Except I'm listening to After the Quake because I want to hear the bop buzz at the end. The best, this one just
okay.
makes me smile because when Bob hit, oh yeah, so it goes into this. So they're doing this song, and it's a pretty mellow, nice song. After the quake, let's bake a cake.
Bop, bop,
And
bop,
then,
yeah.
yeah. Right towards the end, somebody hits on this great little guitar groove, like dun, 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 and Bob just goes into that bop bop part, and you can hear
Yeah.
like cracks up, and then just joins in. It's such a great moment.
Mm-hmm.
Do do
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. um, it's a good track. Then we have P Melts Everything, which I had to listen to again real quick there. P melts
You
everything, I
melt
melt
everything
everything,
I found.
everything. It's a more subdued track.
Yeah, built on a quieter little guitar riff
Yeah,
this time.
yeah, little mellower. Um, Usually I feel bad not talking about a song much, but
It's okay. My dad is a
I think
motorboat. I mean,
oh, all time. My dad is a motorboat. He goes, I can't do it. Ah! And all of them just crack up. It's like, oh, this is the hit of the disc. Because it's a good tune until that, and then it's a better tune. See, My Dad is a Motorboat, I think, is the best song here in a Suitcase context because you could never re record that. You could never do
yeah,
that again. But as it stands, it's quite good.
it is quite good. I'm listening now, and I just noticed this one also features the screen door slam that
Yeah,
we know and love from the Tractor Rape Chain intro.
yeah, and various other songs, I suppose. Would this, since you mentioned the screen door and the porch, I'm wondering if this is then the same porch, where and the same location, I suppose, because I never considered this being outside. But
I always
if it was
pictured it being outside for some
the Who
reason.
Went Home and Cried, if it was recorded at that spot.
I think so. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's how I always envisioned it, but I could be wrong.
Hmm.
I have been wrong before. Maybe like a
Yeah,
back porch too,
maybe. I
like
always
the
just assumed this was like
I
Bob's
Am a
living room.
Scientist video.
Yeah, true.
What's that?
I just always assumed this was like his living room where everything else got recorded.
Mm, you could be right. I mean, there are moments where you hear like kids running around. I think
Yeah,
Bob's wife at the time is around. The phone
yeah,
rings at one point. Yeah,
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
yeah.
Little
Um, I don't remember Ugly Baba. I just don't.
this one. Yeah, this one's one of the least successful. Somebody's trying to clap, they're trying to keep a beat like by clapping,
Mm.
but it's not really working. Um, oh, I'm listening to now. Bob is singing in a voice that he rarely employs, but
Hmm.
most proto elephant jokes or something. He's just
Oh,
kind of like,
okay.
blah, blah. I can't even do it. I don't know. It's a little bit unhinged.
Yeah,
Um, not a
yeah. I think I
great
know what you're
one.
talking about. Yeah.
But this next song, oh man,
Hairspray lights, hairspray
that
lights. It
that
might.
part alone, that's just a classic. That's a GDB
Yeah,
classic.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a classic sort of hook of that time. A little ha-ha man in a sense.
yeah.
I think it's Hairspray. I think it's because of the ha-ha man thing, but there's a few songs, now that I think about it, like I Shot at Jezebel and Hairspray Lies in particular, sound to me like Under the Bushes Air Force tracks.
Nice. Yeah,
Like that's where they'd fit.
yeah.
I actually don't love Under the Bushes. So if you swapped a
I've
few
heard
of
you
those
say
tracks,
that.
I have said that. It's not really what this podcast is about, and not even really this disc. I would just say that if you took maybe two of the weaker tracks in there and swapped them with a few of these, it'd be a better album. Because I don't know why, but to these songs don't sound like Alien Lanes to me, but some of them sound like Under the Bushes. I don't know
Interesting.
why.
I mean, that album has such a unified feel to it. It's not my favorite production wise for sure. So
Hmm.
like mixing in some of these to style songs actually would, to me, I think that would be a good
Yeah,
thing.
like not the original
Uh,
recordings, obviously, but new
yeah,
recordings.
yeah. No, I mean, I would love to hear
Hmm.
hairspray lies like, I don't know. I was gonna say finish, but like, just smoothed out a little bit, like with
Hmm.
a full band arrangement would is all it needs. It's a cool. It's a song. Like it's not
Hmm.
just dicking around. It's like this a quality song here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man, this is the worst episode of the podcast. I've just been thinking, it's
Or
like, man, we're struggling a
or
little.
is it the best? It's okay. We're in the home stretch.
Yeah, but I can tell because usually when we're on the last four songs, we've already been doing it for a little longer than 40 minutes.
It's true. Yeah, that's
Um,
okay.
yeah, I mean, look, they can't look. There's 400 songs across the suitcases. They can't all be winners. Most of them are, but like again, looking at my iTunes, apparently I enjoy Sawhorse with Big Blue Ears. No clue how it goes. Absolutely no idea.
It's. Oh wait, I was just about to say this is the one Greg sings, but it's
Not
not.
not yet. No, but Sawhorse is I don't. I'm gonna have to put this one on again too, just for a minute because I don't remember it.
Yeah,
Like I just don't remember it.
this is not a standout.
Yeah,
It's got a little bit of a
no
bluesy
idea.
bar
Yeah,
band chug to it.
yeah. I
Bastard.
listened to it and I still don't remember it.
Yeah, and then
Next week's gonna be a lot better than this. I'm sorry, everyone.
Tough Skin River. Now I hope everyone gets a kick out of revisiting this disc because
Yeah,
it's fun. It's just so
it's
I don't,
it doesn't adapt well to the format of dudes talking about it.
that's true.
Yeah, it breaks
Um,
the format a little.
Now we get a rare Greg Demos
Lead vocal, and it's a Tough Skin River.
Which, by the way, do you think that means Bob is playing guitar? Because I kind of think he plays guitar. On
I
this
think
one.
I think he does, if only just because I thought about it. It's like, is it possible that they swapped, and Greg gave Bob his guitar, and Bob gave Greg nothing or a lyric sheet or some shit? It sounds like Bob's playing
It does.
because Toby and Greg don't play guitar. That most people don't play guitar the way Bob does, except me
Yeah.
and Andy Partridge of XTC. So I think it's Bob on guitar and Greg singing,
Yeah.
which is a rare
So
combo for sure.
it is a rare combo.
I
But
think that's the most
ultimately-
interesting thing.
I'm not a huge fan of this song. In general, I'm not a huge fan of Greg's voice.
I actually like Greg's voice. It just, I think, like I can kind of see why the Three Dream Bag album isn't really discussed much. Greg has a
Mhm.
good voice for every now and again, but it's like the same reason people don't like Rush, is it's a high voice and it stays there. But I also think that at least on like maybe Sunfish Holy Breakfast or something, like there's at least one or two Three Dream Bag songs that belonged on a GBV release. If you ever get a chance to hear a song called Unborn Widow, and anyone at home, I dare you to tell me that wouldn't have fit on Sunfish Holy Breakfast. I mean, if Jim Greer's
Nice.
song could go on there a year and a half after he was out of the band or something, then
I'll check that out. I definitely,
Yeah.
every once in a while, I want to revisit. I get the urge to revisit the
yeah, it's certainly not
3D
yeah.
album.
It's certainly not a bad album. It's just there's a lot of songs that kind of don't sound like GBV.
And even he has the other album, Rafter Tag.
Rafter Tag, that's it.
I'm
I've
like,
been meaning to listen to that one again. That was recorded
Yeah.
alongside Figure 4 and Sandbox, I think.
Right. And Bob is on backing vocals on some
On
of
a
those
few
tracks,
songs.
I think.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Life's Masquerade's a good one from that album. We have
Oh,
two
yeah?
more songs. Two more songs.
Okay.
We've heard
We
them
made
before.
it through.
The
We made it
improvs.
through the yeah.
And now we have
Cruise.
Cruise. I don't have the bass, so Bob doesn't play the intro. He just starts. It's Cruise. You like Cruise? This is Cruise. I don't really have anything insightful to say other than that I like Cruise and I like hearing it again.
I like Cruise. I think this is my favorite version of it. It just works for me in a stripped down format.
Wow.
Like, do I miss the awesome bass line intro? Yeah, of course.
Or
the
the ripping solo in the other two versions.
Man.
See, I don't think you can beat the original Freedom Cruise version that sounds like it was recorded in a dumpster. It doesn't get better than that. But with like siren guitars and shit and a really low bass. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I know we've talked about the song before, but I still find it funny that it was in the running for Alien Lanes because it's such a not Alien Lanes song.
It really isn't. It really is more of its own thing. Like,
Yeah.
to me, I associate it with Lucifer's Aching Revolver. Because the first
Yeah.
time I ever listened to those two songs, I just kept playing them on repeat for like the whole day because I was enamored by them. I still think Lucifer's Aching Revolver is one of the best tracks from that era.
Yeah.
And
I need to revisit that one. It is cool.
It's a great GBV mystery because no idea who's on it. Some of it's definitely
Yeah.
Nightwalker, but
Yeah.
then there's like a studio section. It's
Yeah.
it's not on Suitcase either, which is just my way of trying to get back on track so we can finish recording the episode and then talk about whatever. It's a good cruise. All right, from Alien Lanes is here, but it's acoustic, and
Let's
I think
talk about this.
it implies that Bob wanted more vocals in the song. I think I've heard
Wow.
that too, that Bob recorded vocals for All Right. Jimmy said, what if you muted those and just kept the backing vocals? And Bob liked those more.
Wait.
That's what I
It was
think I've
Toby.
heard. Toby, okay.
That's what Tobin said in a recent interview. Now, I had speculated that beforehand. I'm on record with saying I thought that after hearing this version, I was like, it sounds to me like this demo has a lead vocal.
And Bob just didn't have the
sounds
lyrics yet.
Yeah. And it sounds like the well, I think the lyric is there. It's all right, I'm psyched, all right. It's like
it still would have been a pretty bare bones song.
Minimal lyrically, but yeah,
maybe
but
that's what influenced the decision to keep the final.
Tobin had said, I kind of had this realization that like when those vocals come in on the end of Alien Lanes, they sound like backing vocals, and and they're just going all right. So I was wondering if that was the case, and then once I, like not long, like maybe a few months after I had that thought, there was an interview with Tobin, and he said that Bob wasn't too happy with that song and was gonna cut it from the album, and Tobin like took off the lead vocal and kept in the backing vocals, and Bob liked that, and so there you go.
Yeah. Interesting fact that this reveals another possible suspicion with the album version is Bob usually only writes in standard tuning or standard tuning, but drifted to whatever hurts the guitars in whatever. This song is in a deliberate alternate tuning.
Is it in drop D?
It's something fucked. It's definitely not drop D, but it's like because he starts explaining at the end, and I think it's the E, all I can catch is the A string is tuned down to E, and the D string is tuned down to B, which makes sense. I mean, I'm just at a point where I can tell when a string is openly rigging or fretted or not, and it lines up with what I hear on the album version, which itself I think might be one of my favorite guitar tones of all time. But it's interesting
song,
in that regard.
Yeah, the Alien Lane version it's just massive. It just sounds so good. That guitar is so good, and so
leads,
one thing
and the leads on All Right too.
Oh yeah, it's a great track, and I think killing the lead vocal is what kind of made it. Just what a weird thing to have a song where you have backing vocals, but that's it. But one thing that's fun to do if you're listening to the studio version is try to sing the vocal line from this demo. And listen to how it lines up when the backing vocals come in. It's pretty dang cool.
Oh.
So, and that's another one for your pile of cover songs.
Dude.
Ben,
I don't know if I can do that. Should we end the podcast before you tell me what to do with my covers album?
No, the public needs to hear this. You need to hear. Because you can actually sing and you can actually play. So like,
well, hold on. I can sing except for today when I push myself way further than I usually do for a cover. You really think people should hear this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. What should I do then?
Because you should do an all right cover, but incorporate the demo vocal.
I don't want to do that. I have so many other songs to get to.
All right, then do let's see.
Like I don't know if I'm doing anything from this disc.
I know you say that, but my request. Oh man, yeah, maybe do Hairspray Lies. Do it as like a rocker. Just do it.
I don't know, man.
Don't think about it.
I'll cop out and do cruise. Nah, I don't really want to do cruise either.
That'd be cool. No,
I think we
you're
gotta end
right.
the podcast. We gotta end the podcast.
Okay, fine. We'll end the podcast.
Okay, at just over 50 minutes, it's shorter than we've done in a while. The good thing is, we have Suitcase 4 coming up, which I remember coming. I can finally talk about where I was when a Suitcase came out with Suitcase 4. So that one's gonna feel very different because I remember it being new. I'm looking over this first disc. Oh God, this is a weird disc. I always forget how weird Suitcase 4 is. It's probably the strangest one. But that's for next week.
That is.
For right now, we are done with Suitcase 3. We are ready to move forward. Motor on if you... it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right, we'll have a new episode up next week. Everyone, cheers.
Cheers.